Are you tired of the same tourist traps, crowded beaches, and travel that feels empty? In 2025, the world is changing, and so is the way we explore it. Ecotourism is no longer a fringe idea. It's a global movement, a growing shift toward purpose-driven travel that gives back to the planet instead of taking from it. Across continents, travelers are trading high-rise resorts for treehouse retreats. They're choosing to hike, help, and heal through journeys that protect nature and uplift local communities. This isn't just a new travel trend, it's a reawakening. In this documentary, we'll take you deep into the heart of ecotourism. We'll explore the reasons behind its rise, the places doing it right, and the travelers redefining what it means to truly see the world. So if you're ready for an adventure that leaves footprints of change, not harm, your journey starts right now. In a world racing forward, many of us are slowing down, not out of choice, but out of necessity. The modern traveler is no longer just looking for escape. They're searching for meaning, for connection, for a way to move through the world that heals, not harms. This quiet revolution has a name: ecotourism. And in 2025, it's not an alternative, it's becoming the standard. But ecotourism is more than just a buzzword. It's a philosophy, a movement, a reimagining of what travel can and should be in a world facing climate change, cultural erosion, and environmental fatigue. At its core, ecotourism is built on three guiding principles. First, responsibility, not just for where we go, but how we show up. Second, respect, for ecosystems, for communities, for traditions that existed long before we arrived. And third, regeneration, the idea that our presence can contribute, not just consume. It means staying in solar-powered lodges, not high-rise hotels. It means choosing plastic-free experiences, even if it takes more effort. It means hiring local guides, eating food grown within walking distance, and learning, really learning, about the cultures we touch. Across the globe, this mindset is gaining momentum. In the rainforests of Costa Rica, travelers are planting trees as part of their stay. In the highlands of Peru, guests sleep in adobe homes, powered by the sun, and share stories with their hosts over handmade meals. In the coral-rich waters of Indonesia, divers support marine reserves while exploring the reefs they help protect. What was once niche is now normal. Luxury isn't leather and marble anymore. It's a hammock under a canopy of stars, or a hot spring that feeds the local school through tourism revenue. And perhaps most powerfully, ecotourism invites us to rethink the very idea of adventure, not as a checklist of destinations, but as a journey of awareness and impact. We no longer ask, where should I go next? We now ask, how can my journey matter? Because in 2025, travel isn't just about discovery. It's about responsibility. It's about purpose. It's about creating memories that mean something to us and to the planet we share. This is the rise of ecotourism, and it's not just a way to explore the world. It's a way to change it. Something changed in the way we travel. It didn't happen all at once, but the signs were there. Empty airports, closed borders, quiet cities once filled with tourists. The pandemic pressed pause on the world, and in that silence, many of us started asking deeper questions. Why do we travel? What are we really looking for? When the plane stopped flying and the crowds disappeared, we began to notice what we'd lost and what we might still save. And so, a quiet shift began. More travelers are now choosing well-being over whirlwind itineraries, meaning over luxury, and connection over convenience. People are seeking experiences that ground them, not just distract them. We're hiking instead of hurrying, slowing down instead of speeding through, and choosing to see places for what they are, not what they offer us. This shift is also deeply tied to our growing awareness of climate change. Rising temperatures, wildfires, coral bleaching, disappearing forests. It's hard to ignore the impact of travel when you've seen the damage up close. So travelers began to change their questions. From what's the cheapest flight, to what's the most responsible option. From how much can I do, to how deeply can I experience one place. And with that, a deeper desire has emerged, to connect with local cultures, to learn from communities, and to feel a part of the places we visit, even if just for a moment. We no longer want to pass through. We want to participate. That's why ecotourism is rising, not as a luxury, but as a response to a longing for travel that heals, for experiences that restore, for journeys that mean something. Ecotourism is more than a buzzword. It's a revolutionary response to the pressing issues of climate change, cultural loss, and environmental damage. It begins with a simple yet powerful question. What if our journeys could heal instead of harm? At its core, ecotourism is about responsible travel to natural areas, travel that conserves ecosystems and uplifts local communities. It isn't roughing it in wild camps or hugging trees. It's traveling thoughtfully. This kind of travel values small group sizes, minimal impact lodging, and deep cultural immersion. It's structured around 3 pillars: environmental stewardship, preserving, restoring, or protecting the landscapes we visit; cultural respect, honoring local traditions, and listening to the voices of indigenous and community leaders; economic equity, ensuring that tourism dollars support locals, not outside investors. Practically speaking, ecotourism means staying in natural material lodges powered by solar, eating dishes made from locally grown ingredients, and participating in conservation or restoration projects, from replanting forests to rescuing marine life. Essentially, it's saying no to mass tourism, no to cruise ships in fragile bays, no to motorized thrill-seeking tours, and yes to slow travel. Canoes over cruisers, conversations over quick selfies, and actions that give back to the places we visit. But ecotourism goes beyond avoiding harm. It's about actively repairing damaged systems, funding marine sanctuaries, reopening schools, protecting sacred traditions. And the impact doesn't stop with ecosystems. The traveler transforms to returning home with empathy, awareness, and a new sense of global responsibility. Ecotourism isn't about doing less, it's about doing better, choosing to travel with purpose, respect, and real impact. Because the world isn't just a destination, it's our shared home. Ecotourism is no longer just a concept. It's happening right now in hundreds of places across the globe. On every continent, there are destinations that don't just talk about sustainability. They build their entire identity around it. In Costa Rica, bamboo-built ecolodges powered by solar energy are tucked into the cloud forest. Guests wake up to birdsong, spend mornings planting native trees, and hike through pristine trails guided by biologists. In the evening, they gather around locally sourced meals, surrounded by the sounds of the jungle. No concrete, no waste, no harm. In the remote kingdom of Bhutan, tourism is strictly limited. Every visitor pays a sustainability fee that directly funds environmental protection and cultural preservation. Travel here is slow, intentional, and immersive. Rather than selfies and souvenirs, guests leave with stories, shared over butter tea in monasteries, or while hiking sacred trails alongside local guides. In Kenya, the safari industry is evolving. Instead of just observing wildlife from a distance, travelers are joining conservation patrols, helping monitor endangered species, and engaging with Maasai communities, working to protect their land. These aren't just trips, they're partnerships in preservation. Across the Indonesian archipelago, eco-diving expeditions have become a gateway to marine conservation. Divers support coral restoration, clean plastic from the reefs, and stay in floating lodges that produce zero waste. What was once a passive vacation becomes a mission of regeneration. In the Scottish Highlands, rewilding retreats are taking root. Travelers help replant native forests, restore peatlands, and track the return of species like lynx and golden eagles. Each visitor becomes a steward of the landscape, leaving the land healthier than they found it. These destinations aren't fantasies. They're proof that tourism can be transformative, not only for the traveler, but for the places we touch. Because the future of travel isn't about ticking places off a list. It's about leaving each place better than we found it. For all its promise, ecotourism isn't without its challenges. In fact, the very values that make it so important, sustainability, preservation, and community empowerment, also make it difficult to scale. Some of the most beautiful, untouched regions in the world lack the infrastructure to support even small waves of travelers. Roads are unpaved. Access to clean water is limited. Waste management systems are non-existent. Without careful planning, even well-intentioned visits can strain fragile ecosystems or overwhelm rural communities. And then there's the risk of greenwashing, when businesses label themselves as eco-friendly without truly aligning with sustainable practices. A plastic-free bathroom doesn't mean much if the resort bulldozed local forests to build a luxury spa. True ecotourism demands honesty, transparency, and long-term thinking. It requires listening, not just to the tourists, but to the people who call these places home. But within these challenges lie powerful opportunities. Local communities that once had few options are becoming owners of their own tourism economies. From running guest houses and guiding nature walks to producing food and crafts for eco-travelers. They're building new livelihoods, ones that honor their traditions and protect their land. Governments and NGOs are stepping in too, creating certification systems, offering training, and forming alliances that reward real sustainability over marketing buzzwords. Technology is helping as well. Apps that guide travelers to verified low-impact services, blockchain systems tracking carbon offsets, and platforms that let tourists fund reforestation directly. But perhaps the greatest opportunity lies in the mindset shift. Travelers are no longer content with taking. They want to give, they want to learn, they want to help. If managed wisely, ecotourism can do more than reduce harm. It can regenerate landscapes, revive cultures, and reshape the very definition of what it means to explore. Because in this new era of travel, the real luxury isn't found in excess, it's found in balance. The future of travel isn't about moving faster, it's about moving smarter and with purpose. Ecotourism invites us to reimagine our journeys, to trade luxury for legacy, to step off the beaten path and onto trails that nourish the land, empower communities, and deepen our connection to the world around us. We've seen what's possible. Forests regrown, reefs restored, cultures revitalized through tourism that uplifts rather than consumes. This is more than a trend, it's a movement, a promise that travel can be not just sustainable, but regenerative. It begins with choice, where we go, how we go, and who benefits from our presence. Whether it's staying at locally owned lodges, supporting wildlife conservation, or simply listening to the stories of those who've lived on this land for generations. Every decision makes a difference, and as more of us seek meaning over material and impact over convenience, a new kind of traveler is emerging. One who leaves each place not just visited, but better. Because the world doesn't need more tourists, it needs guardians of wonder. If this inspired you to travel differently, don't just watch, take the first step. Like, subscribe, and share this journey with someone who's ready to explore with purpose. Because together, we can turn travel into a force for good.